Hello, this is Mrs. Lavoy again, and this is a recording of literary terms for The Necklace. A lot of you know a lot of these terms from middle school, so this is a refresher, but it is kind of a long list. Feel free to pause and back up as needed. Okay, we're going to start off with plot. Plot is the events that make up a story and how those events are related. A plot chart is what we use to divide the story into parts or stages. Those different parts are called stages. And a plot chart reflects the sequence of events. And notice here that I've defined the sequence as the order in which the events occur. Now, it's very important to know that the sequence of events may be different from the order in which they are narrated. For example, okay, if I have this sentence here and it says, as he surveyed the crime scene, the cop realized that this was the work of the Joker. Okay? And the order of narration here is that the cop surveyed, he saw a crime scene that was abandoned, and he realizes that the Joker commits the crime. That's the order of narration, but the order of the events is different. Notice that the Joker commits the crime. That's what happened first. Then the crime scene is abandoned. Then the cop comes on the scene and surveys or sees everything. And after he sees everything, he realizes that it was the Joker who did it. Okay, so the events are different. The events and the way that they occur are different from the way that the events are shared when we're telling about it after the fact. Now, a plot twist happens when information is revealed out of sequence in such a way that it surprises the reader. And The Necklace is one of those stories that has a plot twist. All right, so our stages of plot, we have first the exposition, then the rising action, then climax, then falling action, and then resolution. And they occur in that order. So let's talk about the different stages of plot. First, we have the exposition, and that is where, when, and who. And then we also have the conflict. Now, we'll define conflict towards the end, but please understand that the where and the when are part of the setting, and who tells us who the characters are. Now, I'm going to skip out of order here because I think it's easier to define the exposition, the climax, and the resolution, and then back up to the rising action and falling action. The climax is the most dramatic and intense moment of the story. This is the part of the story that you feel. Okay, you will have a physical reaction to the climax. Okay, maybe your heart will pound, you'll get an excited feeling, your shoulders will tense up. Okay, you might furrow your brow, your eyebrows. Okay, that's the climax. Usually when we get to the climax, that's where you're reading faster. You've forgotten that you're reading a story. You're not distracted by the things around you. Okay? So, exposition is how we start. Climax is the most exciting and intense. And then the resolution is how the story ends. I think it's easiest to identify the exposition, the climax, and the resolution first. Then I back up to the events leading up to the climax, and the falling action, the events after the climax. Notice that the word action means events. Okay, these are things that happen. All right, moving on to symbol. A symbol is an object that represents an idea beyond itself. A symbol can be a gesture, a picture, or a sound. Here we have a picture showing the gesture. We have the letters representing the sound, and then of course we have a picture that might be posted somewhere. But these all convey the idea of being quiet, not talking. Symbolize is the verb that means to represent. You'll notice it has the same root, symbol. And symbolism is the noun, meaning the use of symbols to represent ideas. Now we have dynamic character. Okay, a dynamic character is one who changes in some way from the beginning to the end of the story. And notice here with my little red star that this refers to interchange. The main character learns a lesson or grows up, etc. Okay, and notice here that a character dying or breaking his arm doesn't make him dynamic unless he learns from it. Okay, a static character is a character that does not experience interchange. Notice that the main character in a story is usually dynamic, while minor characters are usually static. Okay, conflict. In literature, conflict is the problem or obstacle that a character faces. The conflict might be internal, and that's where a character wrestles with his or her own demons. Okay, and external conflict is when a character contends with an outside force. There are 4 types of external conflict. We've got man versus man. That's where characters fight against each other. We've got man versus society, where characters fight against the status quo or against society's rules. Man versus nature, where the opposing force is a mountain, a tornado, the forest, the darkness, etc. Okay. And then man versus technology, and that's where the opposing force is a computer, a phone, a TV, a robot, etc. Okay. And that's all for our literary terms. We'll be using these terms as we study other stories here in this quarter. Thanks and have a good day.